Welcome back into North Dakota. Today we are cooking with Cashway. Randall, we've messed with these sauces a little bit. We got all of our mix-ins going on in there. Now, next we were going to do a thickening aspect.
Yes. So what we wanted to talk about was the hydrophobic aspects of roux. That's why it thickens.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Well, with a little help, we found it out, right? But it absorbs water. And then the fat molecules will be part of that as well.
Okay.
So it gives us flavor and it gives us that ability to thicken. Now, the thing with roux though is that once you add it, you have to kind of let it cook a little bit, about 15 to 20 minutes on low simmer. And you can always do some skimming as well, because sometimes you'll get a little foam on top. And you just kind of skim that away. But one of the things I really like doing is, especially when you haven't really worked with roux before a lot, is I like to take some of my liquid. And then I like to put it in a bowl. Then why don't we take about a third of that? Okay. We'll mix it in with this, and you can just give it a little whisk. So there's kind of a rule of thumb about adding.
Just put it right in there?
Yep. Okay. Just go ahead and kind of dump it almost in there.
Gotcha. We'll just...
And what you want to do is kind of start with a little bit less, and then add more as you need to. The only reason why is because you would have to thin it out if you got it too thick.
Right.
So go ahead and mix that up together. And what's really nice is that because we do this, then it's all mixed in, it's all distributed, and then we pour it into here, I don't have to worry about clumps. Because sometimes you can almost make dumplings.
Oh.
Yeah.
And a roux dumpling.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, So by doing this, we just kind of make sure that that's all distributed and go from there. Now, if you're using like a slurry or something like that, you want to add that in while it's still boiling.
Gotcha.
Here we want to kind of do this and then bring it to a boil. And either one, it has to come to a full boil before it will actually thicken, okay? Sometimes people will add a roux and they'll be like, well, it never thickened. And like, you got to bring it to a boil.
Got it.
Okay?
See our roux dumplings right here.
Yeah, all right. So that's okay. Then go ahead. I mean, you can see how that thickened right away, right?
Yeah, right away.
All right, so now we can add it to here.
Okay. Just put it right in there? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just go whisk it in.
Nope. Got it. Sorry.
So then once that comes to a, here, I'll take that.
Trade it.
Here, you gotta get, why are you leaving stuff in the pan for?
I thought I had to start whisking. I panicked.
But everybody does that though. Use it up. Okay, go ahead. There we go.
There we go. Now that's a good looking roux right there.
All right, so what we do is we're gonna bring that to a boil, let it thicken, about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll strain it into a bowl or something. And what that will do is catch the garlic, catch the rosemary, and then also any kind of clumps of roux that you might have still in there.
Those dumplings.
So now we get a really nice velvety, smooth roux.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Okay.
So I'll move that back to the stove.
Okay.
And then we can put our next sauce on.
Yes. So just put this guy right on here.
Yep.
Okay. This one looks a lot more my speed. And again, if you want to see what is on these, just go ahead and look at our website, valleynewslive.com. All the recipes are on there for you.
So this is it's the cranberry juice, it's the sriracha, it's honey, and a little bit of soy.
Okay.
So this kind of takes the idea of that cranberry glaze, but gives it a little more modern feel.
To go with our Thanksgiving meatballs.
Right. So it's got a little sass. It's definitely sassy.
Sassy.
It's definitely got some sass, but it's got those characteristic flavors of Thanksgiving as well.
Perfect. What more could you ask for?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you do it, but like when I would go to my grandparents' home or my aunt's home, and you'd walk in the door and those smells would hit, and you instantly know that it's Thanksgiving.
You're taking me back.
Right. But isn't that amazing how those smells kind of do that for us?
Memory there.
So so what we do is we bring this to a simmer, and then we want to reduce that down to about a glaze. Now you have to be really careful that you don't over reduce that.
Okay.
So I would say that when you get to that thicker pancake syrup feel, then you're thickened.
Then it's thickened. Okay.
Another thing about cranberries is that I don't know if you've ever noticed, but they gel. So cranberries of all vegetables have the highest amount of pectin, and pectin is a natural thickener.
Okay. See how educational
hydrophobic as well.
We're so educational.
Yeah. So I mean, don't mistake the fact that there is that property in there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So now through the magic of TV, we have our two sauces.
And most importantly, the meatballs.
And so we have our appetizers, and we have our entrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you come over and give our meatballs a little glaze. So now, see, I put it in a little squirt bottle. And that way it gives me a lot of control.
Gotcha. So
So you want to do that.
right over the top
Right.
there, and then it kind of, oh, was that too much?
Nope.
Perfect.
And then this is going to be for our entree. And remember we said about 3 per. All right.
Mine are a little bit sloppier
And
than
then over here we have our green onion.
the last little.
So we have our curlicues, so that could work on there, right?
Love the curlicues.
Or we could go with the extreme bias. Extreme, right?
There we go.
So we have those. So those are kind of fun, right?
Perfect. Yeah, a little garnish
And then
for.
what says Thanksgiving meal more than crispy onions?
Nothing
Right?
that I could think
Right,
of.
so why don't we put a little crispy onion on top of this?
Perfect.
Now what we could do is put a little green bean down on the base.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Get all kinds. There are all kind of options that you
Right.
can do with that.
And then I'm not a big one for using herbs as a garnish, but this one actually works. So this is a little rosemary just to kind of give us a little flavor and a little color and a little differentiation.
Well, there they are right here. You
So
ready to try
here
these
we
guys?
have, well, yes.
Sorry, I'm too excited.
Yes, I know. All right, go ahead and give that one. Well, try that one first.
Grab a fork here. There we go. Okay. We're gonna,
But what I love about this gravy is that it's surprising. Like you get this kind of apple brightness in it.
that was very good.
You'd think it'd be like really sweet, but it's not.
It's not. No,
Right,
not at all.
right.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
Now,
do you want to?
I will go back after we're done.
That sauce is very good.
Yeah. So
Nice little kick too.
yeah, I mean, some people call it a barbecue because it's got kind of a
Yeah,
barbecue
yeah.
flavor to it. So you could call it a barbecue.
Pardon me. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah, that's the sassy part.
I'm going to eat a bunch more of these sassy
So
Thanksgiving meatballs.
taking Thanksgiving just to a different level.
Well, these are fantastic and an awesome Thanksgiving alternative. We're going to keep checking in here with more at Cashway, but for right now, from North Dakota today, we are checking in at Cashway.